What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast. Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, all the likes, comments, feedback. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Hopefully, everybody's having a beautiful Sunday. It's about to start raining over here pretty soon. It's getting kind of cloudy. Uh, I ended up going for a swim and came back. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be on here for a little bit, before I go get me some dinner. Uh, how's everybody out there doing, man? Uh, it's gonna be a little short live. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna take too much of your time today, man. I think I already wasted enough time on here today. But I'm pretty sure I did a live earlier, right? And a lot of people are probably like, man, maybe that guy was going a little bit too hard. Uh, no, I was right. Right, I was right. Everybody has their own agenda, man. Everybody thinks that Mark is going to be the cash cow, right? Mark's story is the next cash cow, and everybody wants to be a part of it, right? By any means necessary, right? Everybody wants to insert themselves and ride the wave of Mark Moore. Everybody, right? Everybody. Some people do it. Oh man, I'm doing it for the good. I want to speak up for the. No, you don't, man. You want it for monetary gain. People's true colors show, man, and the only color that matters to people is green. That's the only color that matters to people, right? It's green. The color green is the only one that can stop conflicts, right? It comes to an agreement. You bring too much heat, money can't be made. Uh, it's boundless. Right? It has no boundaries. The color green, it has no boundaries, and everybody wants that, man. That's one color everybody wants, man. Everybody wants those Bennies and Franklins. Right? You ask yourself, why are characters, right, asking about a Texas gang to a California prison gang, right? Why are you asking about a Texas prison gang to a California channel? If you want to know Texas prison politics, I think Tim Snow would be a pretty good start, man. Go watch Tim Snow, or if you really want to know Texas politics, Tim Snow's pretty up to date, man. So I don't see why people would want to go ask other channels about a specific Texas prison gang. What's the agenda, right? What's the agenda there? What's the end game? What are you trying to get to? Everybody has their agenda, man. Everybody. I'm gonna speak up on the interview I did with Flacco. Flacco had did a video maybe about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. It's been a minute, right? Where he specifically called Dongo Blast a bunch of degenerates, right? And I already gave y'all the definition of a degenerate, right? Somebody that bends or lowers their standards or morals, right? We don't do that. We don't lower our standards or morals, so we're not degenerates, right? We're not dropouts. We don't accept anybody with funny convictions, right? So when Flacco made a video calling Tango Blast degenerates, I addressed it, right? We made a video, he clarified it, and he said he backstepped from it, right? Because everybody was giving him hell from it. Not only myself, but also Tim Snow. Tim Snow was also giving him hell about it, right? That we're not no degenerates. We're not no dropouts. A lot of these present gangs, like these Texas syndicates, Mexican mafia, a lot of them dudes are dropouts, right? They couldn't make the team no more, or for whatever reason or another, they dropped out, right? They got too hot for them or whatever, whatnot, right? So it's no different than these gunners and dubs that are dropouts, right? From their state. Texas has a few of them, right? Texas has a few of these guys that are ex-Texas syndicate, ex-Mexican mafia, ex-whatever, right? Some are so proud of that they don't want to come out, right? Some will wear masks or whatnot, right? Same, you see the dudes from California that don't want to show their face, they wear masks. Right. So when I made the video with Flacco, I didn't know that there was black and whites on him, right? That there was paperwork, convictions, black and white testimonies, transcripts. There's paperwork, right? So you can basically go pull it up and see what he did and do, right, for your own self. Once I was made aware of that, I stepped back away from Flacco. I got numerous emails from him wanting to do content after that, right? I left it alone. Because on here, believe it or not, the YouTube streets still apply. Prison and street politics still apply to the people on YouTube. So if you're no good, your cards are gonna get pulled, right? If you're no good and you snitched and you did whatever you did, it's gonna come out. Paperwork gonna be presented, and people are gonna talk about it. The transcripts of what the victim said or what you said, court hearings, all that, right? So when all that is presented, man, it is what it is. So I don't see why people would want to go over there and ask him about a Texas-born gang, right? That's why it's hard a lot. It's hard for a lot of these ex-gang members to get on board on Texas. The only one that I've seen that's real stomped down is Robert Delgado. He's sticking to his guns. He shows his face. He talks about what he feels, and it is what it is, right? So he adds credibility. But there's a lot of guys, there's a lot of people that are dropouts, right? They couldn't make the team, or they decided for one reason or another that they don't want to be a part of the team no more. But see, I was presented with those same options and opportunities, right? But once they tell you the rules and the obligations, I didn't listen to my own father. I sure wasn't ever going to listen to a bunch of junkies, right? Because that's where a bunch of them dudes were. I ran into a lot of them me being on the streets, right? When they would come by my dope houses, and it is what it is, right? So there has to be there has to be truth to it, man. People just need to stop tell your story. Uh I just don't understand what's people's agendas. You know what I mean? So I see if I want to know about a certain gang, I think I'll go to somebody that's from that state, right? If I want to know about California politics, I'll reach out to somebody in California. If I want to know about Chicago politics, I'll reach out to somebody in Chicago. If I want to know how Alabama politics function, I'll reach out to somebody that's from Alabama. What's going on, Jojo? When I want to know about something, I reach out to the person that's from that city, right? Or maybe they have somebody reach out to a content creator that's from that city to ask them about that. But when you go to somebody else's live and search yourself, and the first thing you ask is about Tango Blast, all of a sudden, why are you asking about Tango Blast? I asked that because, and that's what people need to understand, that these politics, man, this YouTube, yada, yada, man. If you have paperwork, man, and people go over it, you're considered the no good, man. It's sad. Let me let me bring it better into more context for y'all, for people can see what I'm talking about, man. Uh, See, if you look at this screenshot, right? This is a screenshot. This is a screenshot from another channel called A Convict Perspective, right? And as you can see Young Blood's in there, right? He's asking these guys, who's ever running Flacco's channel right now, because Flacco's currently incarcerated. I think he's in PC right now, right? I don't know. I haven't kept up with it, but from what I watched on YouTube, they're saying Flacco's heading to PC. Either from his own doing or the administrating putting him in there, he's going to PC. That's the word on the YouTube yada. All right. So when I see Youngblood asking another content creator about Tango Blast, I'm Tango Blast. Why don't you, if you want to know about my history, come and tell. I can come and tell you to the best of my knowledge, right? If you wanted to know about Tango Blast, you got my number. I thought we were friends, right? Isn't that what you said? That I thought we were friends. But like I said, man, with friends like you and Dante, who needs enemies, man? Like that's why uh I knew from months ago that there was something wrong with you. You had been compromised months back. Why? Like how you said, man, I wish somebody to pay Youngblood. I wish somebody would pay Youngblood, right? So you inserted yourself not for the kindness of your heart, but for what you can get back in return. This right here, what I'm seeing, because I'm telling you, I see stuff, man, and I jump to all the what ifs. And most of the time I'm right. I don't see why a Muslim from Alabama is reaching out to another content creator from California, asking them about a homegrown Texas prison gang. Why? You have a person that you've been associated with, right? That you could have easily called up and said, hey, man, Noel, I want to know about the Texas history. I sent you videos, right? I sent you videos on how they function here, right? You could have asked me, but what's the agenda? Why are you doing stuff so shady? Why are you hanging with the opposition and disclosing battle plans, treason? Why are you over there trying to stir up stuff? Let them, man. I don't care. Let them. Let them. You got guys that are bending overs and getting on their knees, right? Not for the right thing, man. For the money, right? Because everybody feels like Mark's going to be this next big thing. He's going to be the next documentary that sells. We're going to put a Tubi movie together. Everybody got in cahoots, right? Everybody thinking that we're going to make bank off of Mark, right? But even if you are successful, there's too many of y'all to make a big difference out of it, right? Because even if you do succeed and make a documentary, everybody's going to get peanuts except one or two people, right? Because like what y'all been getting right now is peanuts, right? Just because the pie gets bigger doesn't mean y'all get a bigger slice. Y'all gonna continue getting them peanuts. So what y'all think is going to be a grand prize, it might be, but not for everybody. Only for a very few choose. Oh, because I'm just asking Youngblood. Because I see Youngbloods in the comments of a convict's perspective asking the California about Tango Blast. That's it. All right. And I want to know, like, hey, Youngblood knows I'm Tango Blast. Why is he reaching out to out-of-staters, to especially that's no good, right? Flacos are no good. There's black and white, right? There's black and white. There's testimonies, there's transcripts. You can read it up yourself, right? William Hunter Vick, right? And then you can make your own decision, right? Read it up and you tell what he did and you say what he said and what he did and who got what and who did what, right? So you can only assume that when somebody else is asking about you, that's just basically asking about you, right? You're asking another content creator basically about Tango. Why? What's your agenda there? Why? Other than to stir up stuff, right? Because you've been compromised. You feel, and everybody else feels like Mark is going to be this next best thing, man. Like he's just going to blow up to the next best Tubi thing. Everybody's hoping on that, right? That's why nobody wants the real victims, right? Nobody wants the real victims. Hey, when I started this Riverside, nobody wants the victims, man. All right. Everybody wants to get in cahoots. Let's try to make a Tubi, a documentary, and bamboozle the audience, right? Well, if you're going to make a real documentary, bring out the real victim. And I guarantee you that would be a great documentary, man. Even if I don't get nothing out of it, and the truth be told, man, hey, I'm happy, right? I I'm not doing it for the pennies. And even if it was pounds of coins, I still wouldn't do it, man. Right? Y'all can keep it, right? If it takes to exploit people, man, y'all can keep it, man. I don't have exploitative tactics, right? I'm blessed enough that if I want something, man, before my medical condition, I was able to get it, right? But then again, I'm content in my life, man. I'm not going to be exploiting the victims. Isn't that where y'all were getting mad at me? Because I had reached out to the victims and the victim had told me, give me time, and that's what I was doing. But y'all called the victim and said, hey, he wants to exploit the victims. And I'm happy, man. You know, like I said, I'm doing my good deed. I'm doing my good deed, man. You know, when you do stuff from the kindness of your heart, you don't ask for nothing in return, man. You don't. It's nice. You know, it's nice that, you know, somebody acknowledges you and say, hey, man, here you go, man. It's nice, but you don't expect it, man. You know, I don't. I'm not going to conform or really become a degenerate, right? And lower my standards and associate myself with these guys. All because Mark can be the next big thing or there's possibility of money down the road. Y'all can keep it, man. Y'all can keep that. Y'all can keep it. Because if you succumbing to become a degenerate, which I argued with Flacco, man, and so did Tim Snow, right? Y'all can go watch the videos. I think he still got some on his channel. Go watch him. Go watch him. A degenerate word is a very hateful and hurtful word, right? But it has to fit your description of what you're doing. You know, it has to fit. And what y'all doing, that's what it is. Just like a degenerate gambler that would lower his standards, well, will go without paying the bills and let his kids go hungry because he's a generic gambler and he will go try to chase that one less. Maybe I can hit jackpot one more time. He's a degenerate gambler, right? It's same thing with the social media. It's parasocial. Uh, it's sad, man. It's sad that I didn't think YouTube was like this. I thought YouTube was to learn, educational, watch a lot of documentaries. But then you get the cesspool of this shit right here. I'm liking the cesspool right here, man. Right? Talking about Mark, Booty Bandit. It's like, man, well, I'm at like the. If there was a dark web to the YouTube, I guess I'm in that dark web, right? Because it's a very far few, and it's a. I ran this idea to producers, right? And she told me this is just like a low budget homosexual movie, right? The only people that are going to be intrigued by this are gay males, right? And I can show you the emails what she told me, the text messages, right? That she's like, you know, this is something that's already been talked about 30 years ago. But I'm like, I'm trying to justify why I watched it, but I'm like, man, it's intriguing. You know, people are interested in what happened to these guys after 30 years. She goes, yes, but it's already been talked about. What? She goes, the parts you showed me that I've seen is just like a low budget. She goes, what are you trying to recreate out of that? I said, don't you know that the shock value was because of the all that homosexuality that was going on? That's what sold the first one. So if you're going to try to repeat the same thing, your audience is going to be homosexual males. And she made me think, and I'm like, well, you're kind of right, because even through, uh, I don't want to admit it, it is what it is, right? And that's why I'm kind of surprised that I see females in the comments, right, or even in the chats, because even for man to be talking about this, it's kind of awkward, right? Let's keep it 100. And then for a female to insert herself into the man's business, it's like, what's your thrill? You like it up the butt or what? Or what? Why do you? Why are you so intrigued? Because it's a it's like that August the Duck said, man, it's a far small niche, somewhere in the dark world of YouTube. That this shit is okay and acceptable. You got Felice Johnson blowing up, right? But at the same time, you got, it is what it is with Felice. There ain't no victims, right? Ain't nobody, since the time he's been on YouTube, nobody has came out and said Felice did this, Felice did that, right? So it's kind of easy for Felice to kind of adapt and move, you know what I mean? And people make it feel like it's okay. But Mark, on the other hand, there's victims, man. And then everybody's trying to profit off and exploit the victims, right? They don't want to tell the truth. Go find Brad. So this video is more touching up on, because I don't think I don't want people to think that I was jumping the gun on Youngblood, right? But it's just too much stuff, right? It's just too much stuff. It's like you build something with somebody and you were hoping, regardless if you're there or not, that the mission would go at hand, right? If I team up with you and you leave, regardless you being there or not, the mission would be the one we implemented, right? And let's say you came back and then you see me over there with what you would consider your opposition. And then you come and tell me, no, man, I was just over there telling them this and that. Whatever reason you were over there for good or bad, the scene has been, it's been there, right? You're like, man, why is he over there hanging out with the ops? All right. And then you see him asking information. It's like, you're looking for dirt. Are you looking for dirt? Are you looking, what are you looking for? All right. And that's sad that a man at 50 years old can still become somebody's pawn. I guess the boot game don't discriminate on age, man. Because at one point or another, never, man. Never. That's what I don't understand about, like, you aligned with yourself with these guys for what? Now your true colors are showing, right? Because the only reason I can think that you're asking about my gang to somebody else is to look for dirt, right? And to stir up stuff, right? Almost like a bitch move, right? You got to call it what it is. The same way Dante was doing them bitch moves, the same way, man. Right? So you just had to let it play, right? No, go ahead and order. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. And I took this man seriously, right? Because he told me he was an imam, right? And I put it to him like this. I'm like, look, you're an imam, right? You went home, you left one of your brothers to take your place and to run your foundation that you have implemented. And then God forbid you come back to prison and then you see your brother over there talking to a boy. Regardless if he's over there talking to for good or bad, whatever reason, you're gonna feel some type of way, right? You're gonna be like, brother, why are you over there doing? What happened? Right? You're gonna question your brother. Be like, "Wait, what are you doing over there?" You know that every time you go talk to them, you're supposed to have somebody with you. What did you do? What's going on? So me thinking highly of this man, right? I'm thinking highly of him. I've said it many times, man. Hey, man, thanks for Youngblood for coming out, man. Right? I gave him his flowers. I gave him his flowers. So would you the under the impression that this guy's like an imam, he's a leader. So he must have leadership mentality, right? He must know that when you build something with somebody, or maybe your whole intentions were never to build something with me. Maybe Helio and everybody else in the comments that tries to spin their own narrative about you is right. Even through when people, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, I still spoke up for you, right? I still spoke up against Grim for you, right? Even through deep down, I'm like, man, there's a possibility that this guy has been compromised. I still spoke up highly of you, right? But then I guess they forget that everything's recorded, man. We're in 2025, that all your actions that you do, anything you participate, any comment that you post gets posted and recorded. So you ask yourself, what are your intentions? What are your intentions? If you want to know about a homegrown Texas gang, why didn't you reach out to me? Yes, I know you're a grown man. I know you're a grown man and you have the freedom to do whatever you want, right? I get that. But if you want to know, why don't you ask somebody that knows? If I wanted to know about the Muslim religion, I don't know no Muslims other than you. I would have reached out to you. Other than go jump on somebody's live that I've never met and insert myself and ask him about, hey, what's going on with these Muslims? Right? Instead of going directly to you and be like, hey man, I want to know about the Sunni and the difference between the Sunni and the Muslims from America, right? The Farrakhan's. I would have reached out to you. But if I had bad intentions and if I wanted to know bad stuff about y'all, then I would have reached out to another platform just to pick up dirt on the Muslims, right? Let me go see what I can go find bad about the Muslims so I can throw it at Youngblood down the road, right? Because if I really wanted to know, I would have reached out to you. Say, my brother, can you let me know? Lace me up on the Sunni. And that's sad, man. That a man that's 50, I don't know how old, and in a position of a leadership, is acting like a little child that's looking for confirmation from no goods. See, a lot of people's characters were showing time, man. Their true colors will come out and you will see who they are. Chameleons, right? Wolves in sheep clothes. That's all it is. That's all it is. Right? Everything that I say about people, it's their actions and their words. Right? I'm not attacking Youngblood just to attack him, right? I'm just going off, I'm addressing the elephant in the room, right? And that's what men do, right? I don't do fraud shit and do stuff behind people's backs. I don't do that. That's like scorn baby mama moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's why that's that parasocial. There's a thing, man, that people just want to insert with themselves. Now first it was celebrities. Now gamers and content creators are under that category that everybody wants to be acknowledged with them. First it was celebrities and athletes, right? Everybody wanted to be with the athletes or the actress or the actors. Now it's the social media, the content creators, the Dantes, right? Dante had built this persona around him, this platform that people are eating it up, thinking, yeah, this is really who he is. But it's gonna take a while for them to realize, right? Because they're too busy being minions, right? They're too busy being pawns, right? They're too busy being pawns. And that's sad, man. Like, you do all this, right? And for what? The thing I want to know, for what? Nobody, no company is going to hire Dante, right, as a producer, director, with his statements, right? Because I guarantee you, I see any credits of Dante, man, I'm pushing that lawsuit up, man, to that network and be like, look, this guy's promoting racism, and how you fuck you gonna produce that documentary? This is the guy y'all want to stand for? This is what NBC stands for? That who cares what the black man does to the white man in prison? This is what any kind of network is going to stand behind? A liability? Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. You see what they're trying to do to Elon, his little jester, right? He did what he did. He knew what he did. And that's just a jester, right? People can say, oh, no, he was just stretching his arm. He was just yawning. You know, he was just doing whatever, right? But you can't take back. You can't say, oh, no, that was blown out of context. What? Well, he clearly said it, and he doubled down. He don't care what happens to the white man at the hands of a black man in prison. Who cares, right? So that itself is a liability, man. No network, no agency is taking that liability, right? Because once that liability asserts itself with you, they're gonna have to take that liability on, right? Because they don't want to be, oh, we got this director for NBC that's out there with these racial remarks, right? Because at the end of the day, the big picture is NBC. No company wants to be tainted, right? People forget. Don't say and do stuff on the internet. Don't record yourself doing stupid stuff, right? Don't do documentaries saying you did this, you did that. Nah, you can't, man. He might as well just get implants or just go LeBron and spray paint that shit. But he wants to be manly so bad, right? He's not happy with himself looking in the mirror and not having no facial hair. It makes him look like a boy, right? Like a young man, square. He wants to have scars and tattoos on his face and be that stepper. He wants to be that stomp down dude, fill up the laundry bag. Man, it seems every day these characters just keep on continuing to expose who the real character are. And I'm not talking on my neck. I'm not talking out my neck, right? I just speak on actions, right? Because those actions are towards me, right? So I have to speak about it, right? It's actions, right? So everything I said about Youngblood earlier, I was right. Right. I try to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. But anybody knows that's been in prison knows that those are grounds for termination, man. You can't build a foundation with somebody. That guy goes home. God forbid he comes back to prison, and now you're aligned with the ops. What do you think he's going to do? No loyalty. But I see the thing is, I wasn't expecting loyalty, right? I wasn't expecting loyalty. I was just expecting uh, a like-minded person. You know, he's like, hey, I want I want to help you speak up on these Alabama prison culture, these monsters. Woo 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 woo. I was like, okay, man, let's talk about it, man. You know, I was still on the fence, right? I don't know. You know, I don't know. I just know him as Youngblood, right? I think so, man. I think so too. Because I made the comment to Youngblood, right? I made a comment to him, right? I texted him. I'm like, hey, man, tell Mark I said, what's up with the interview, right? Because Youngblood's like, oh, Mark's been texting me all morning, right? So why is Mark texting you all morning unless y'all are not in cahoots, right? If somebody's texting me all morning and calling me every morning, that means we're in cahoots with each other for one reason or another, right? But then you tell me, yeah, Mark's been calling me all day. I don't know why you would tell me Mark's been calling me all day. That just solidifies my thoughts, right? So I'm like, oh, so you're talking to Mark all day long, right? So what are y'all talking about? Right? What are y'all talking about? And when I asked him, I said, hey, ask Mark if I can have his number and tell Mark I'll toss him some money, right, for an interview. I just want to ask him a few questions. If he would jump on my live and I'll pay him, And what did Youngblood say? He replied and said, man, I wish somebody would pay Youngblood. I wish somebody would pay Youngblood. So all these red flags that I've already previously seen, it just keeps on popping up, right? Popping up, right? Because I was looking at the first message he sent me on YouTube. I don't want no money. I'm not asking for no money. I just want to do the right thing, right? But now everybody starts showing their true colors. I'll do anything for any money, right? You see, Hips got compensated because Hips wasn't going to talk. Hips wasn't going to tell the truth without being compensated, man. And it's rightfully so, right? Who wants to talk about their most traumatic time in prison, right? And at the same time, people are going to make it seem like, hey, you're part of the problem too, man. You said you had two boys, he had two boys, y'all were a family. But he did it, right? Because he's still traumatized. He's still struggling, right? At the effects of guys like Mark, right? He's still struggling, right? So what did he say? I had to make it. I had, just like Dante said. Well, I can give the victim an offer they can't refuse. I did the same thing to Charles, right? I gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. He jumped on it. He told this side of the story. I haven't paid and will not pay nobody else, right? Because if you're going to do it, you're going to do it like me, man. I'm doing it for the kindness of my heart, right? I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting money in return. I'm not putting my cash up there. I'm not asking people to donate to me. I'm not asking people to help the cause out. I'm not doing none of that, right? Because it's from my kindness of the heart, right? It's not. I'm not asking for nothing in return. And don't get me wrong. If it comes something in return, hey, it's cool. But I'm not expecting it, right? I'm not waiting overnight. I'm not checking I'm not waiting for nothing, right? I'm not expecting nothing in return to do this. All I'm doing is to help somebody out, right? To be the Since everybody was defending Mark, I guess I had to be the bad guy and say no, Mark was guilty, right? Everybody at the time was the good guy. Mark's innocent. You're just attacking Mark because you're Mexican, right? That I was racist, this and that. If I was racist, man, I wouldn't have welcomed Youngblood, right? I kind of let my guard down with Youngblood, right? Because I thought of him, especially me. Like I told you, man, I'm on the fence of what religion, right? So I'm open to all ears. Right now, I'm open to all ears, man. I'm looking for something, right? I'm looking for something that's going to gravitate me, a religion, right? I know Christianity, right? But at the same time, I see a lot of Christianity have a lot of hate in their heart, right? I'm through having hate, man. I'm through, right? I want to find something that's like, man, makes me at peace, at ease. I don't want to hate somebody because of their lifestyle or their. That's not me, right? That wouldn't be that means I wouldn't be no different than somebody discriminating on somebody being a hateful on the person because their skin color. I'd be the same thing, man. That's what he wanted, right? And by them paying Youngblood, because I know they paid him, right? He told me, right? I got messages where Youngblood says June wants to pay me for me to go to my live, right? So when all this, when Youngblood's telling me all this, I'm like, man, well, fuck. So you're telling me you're gonna sell yourself for $1, right? Because you're going over there not for to help the victims out, but you're going over there for self-monetary gain, right? Because somebody told you they're gonna throw you a cookie. They're gonna throw you a little Scooby snack. Come over here, do a trick for us, and we'll throw you a little Scooby snack. That's why you went over there. You didn't go over there because I want to do it for the white man. If you would have did it for the white man, you should have did it then and there. Especially having so much power, right? I don't know, man. Well, I do know. I do know. I do know. It's all about money to people. And that's all it is. It's all about the money. It's not wanting to do the right thing. It's not. It's not being happy and be like, man, I did a good deed. And perhaps if I do get something monetary or materialistic item that I can show, hey, look, for what I did, look, here it goes. Man, that's a double blessing, right? But when you ask for it and you're so money hungry for it, it don't come true, man. Shit gets fucked up, right? It's the same thing in the dope game, man. When you get money hungry, you start slipping up, right? I never sold to no cop, right? But I got friends that got greedy and sold to undercovers, right? Because it's always too good to be true, right? It's always too good to be true. When guys want to pay 2, 3 times the value, something's up. But the greediness says, hey, fuck it. Maybe he don't know better, right? You start doubting your own self, right? You start trying to justify why you're going to do a stupid move like that. So you start doubting yourself. You start breaking your laws. Be like, man, this sounds too good to be true. He wants to pay double 3 times. Last time he paid double, he just got one about a day ago. knowing that it takes you about a day or two to get rid of yours. So what is this guy doing it? Right? But the greediness tells you, nah, man, he's a flipper. He's quick, he's quicker, right? Because he tells you a good story. And there you go again. Another indictment, right? Another dope case sent into an undercover. Right? Because you get greedy. You get greedy. What people should have done is got their own channel, put in the hard work, got it monetized, and then see for yourselves if it's beneficial for you. If this is something that you want to do. But if you're going to do it the right way, man. Don't bamboozle your audience. Don't get over them. Because that's the whole thing about YouTube, right? YouTube is supposed to be you, who you are. You're actually your authentic you. That's YouTube, right? But everybody wants to be a persona. And like Mark's checked up with the female now, right? Mark's doing lives where a girl's calling him, blowing up his phone. They say you watching another boy. So his wife or girlfriend is still insecure, right? She's still on the fence of what Mark was doing, right? But she's seeing all these plays behind the scenes of Mark talking to Dante, talking to Youngblood, scheming and plotting. So anybody in the comments his mind is probably thinking, oh man, everything's scripted, right? Maybe what Mark said in that documentary was just what it is, a scripted movie, right? That's what he's doing right now. He's talking to Dante, he's talking to Mark, he's talking to June, he's talking to everybody, right? So somebody looking in, hey, it's all scripted. It's all WWF, WrestleMania, right? So Mark has her fooled, right? But he has her fooled because Dante and everybody was able to spin the narrative of Mark's innocent, right? They pushed it so hard that Mark was able to have a girlfriend, right? Now he's backtracking and saying he's an apex predator, right? But the girlfriend doesn't care, right? Because she knows they're all in cahoots. It's all scripted, right? So all he's doing is solidifying more her thoughts of Mark's past is just being scripted, right? It was a Scared Straight documentary. That wasn't really me, baby. That wasn't me. That was Scared Straight, you know? I helped a lot of youth. I helped a lot of youth with that. I should get an award. I should. And people are so gullible that they believe that, right? Especially when she sees if she lives around Mark and Mark is, what are you doing, baby? You see how insecure she is, right? So if she's with Mark and Mark gets a text message, I'm pretty sure she's questioning, who are you talking to? Who is that? Who called you? Who was that? I've been there, done that, right? Every little ping. Who is that? Let me see your phone. What does he want? Oh, he just wants to talk about the next video. So all y'all do is plan the next video, so it's all fake? Yeah, baby, it's all fake. I told you. You see, it's all fake. And it's so sad that people are so gullible like that, man. That their impressions are so easily manipulated. I give Dante his credit. He's a good storyteller. He's a good manipulator. I give him that. I give him his flowers on that end. He's a good manipulator, man. He's a good storyteller. He's a good exploiter. You know what I mean? Maybe in his past life, he must have been a Detroit pimp. He must have been one of them old school Motown pimps from Detroit in his past life. Right? Or maybe his dad was an old school pimp, showed him the ways. Because that's what he does, right? He exploits, takes advantage of the weak and vulnerable. The ones that have no guidance and they need to be held by their hand. Let me walk you through life. But you're going to have to go out there and do this for me. It's no different, man. Ain't no different. I thought we were supposed to do it for the best and to better humanity, man. My people don't get victimized, man. And like how Youngblood said, right? Youngblood said majority of the predators are black, right? That's according to Youngblood. That's according to Youngblood. Because not too long ago, he texted me and saying, hey, one of his son's neighbors was a victim. Right. And he goes, yeah, sad to say, man, the guy was black and the dude was white. When you got somebody to say, hey, man, it's majority of them dudes doing that. I don't. He got to answer that question, man. I don't want to talk. I just want to talk facts. You know what I mean, man? Yeah, that's bad. I mean, if that's the way they have to prove themselves, man, I mean, like, it's wild to me. But see, that's why we have YouTube, right? For we can learn from other states, man. I know for sure. I'm never driving through Alabama. I'm taking a detour. If I ever have to take a road trip and I have to cross through Alabama, I'm going around that motherfucker. That's like the city of Gomorrah, right? Because if you look at the odds, according to Youngblood, he said 85 to 95% are doing that shit. So that means that if the majority of the population is doing that, at one point or another, them guys are going to come out. So now you got all that population out here mingling with the civilians. And that's the sad thing, right? Now you got those same kind of characters shacking up with female unknowingly, right? The female don't know the true character of Mark, right? If Mark would sit there and tell her the truth, be like, yes, that's my documentary. I did that to them dudes. I guarantee you she would not sit there and be calling them no more. She'd probably be fucking disgusted, right? And be like, damn, how did I sleep with this guy? How did I sleep with this guy? If sometimes you have that thoughts when you find out you slept with somebody that your friend slept with, right? You're like, you fucking sick bitch. Right? And that's just, feeling disgusting that, that your homeboy shared it with you. So it's like, bitch, you trash. Good thing I strapped up on your bitch ass. You know? And we're talking about some hardcore shit that Mark did. You know what I mean? Mark clearly says it right there that he pounded a dude after the dude defecated. And there ain't no protection in there. Right? I thought by somebody handling your food that had, you know, feces under their hands, you got salmonella or some kind of bacteria, right? So just imagine all that defecation going into your manhole. Because we have an orifice on our piece. The stuff that Mark said and did to the average female would have them question, man, what the fuck did I lay down to? What? If not, have a panic attack and be like, man, I have to go check myself ASAP. ASAP. Right? Because if he was having unprotected sex with males in prison, where the majority might be polluted with AIDS, we all know that males in the alphabet community are highly contagious. Right? It's known. They're flamboyant. They don't care where they do it. They'll do it in the middle of a parade. Right? They're that open and flamboyant. Who cares? Look at us. And according to Youngblood, you had these guys going through the fence. Right? So the natures of characters of Mark sodomizing guys through the chain link fence with no protection. I don't know, man. Somebody call their granny, somebody call their aunt. And if they need to blink twice or Morse code, show them. Show her that you're there. If that's your loved one right there, man, reach out to her, man. Maybe if they haven't got too comfortable where they stop using protection. Because I know every relationship starts like that, man. Well, it should, right? Every relationship you get with the female, man, if you've been out, it should always start with protection, man. Every guy that meets a girl and they're thinking about being in an intimate relationship for a long term, it should always be with protection first, man. It should be at least a couple of weeks, even months, man, before you start going raw dog, man. Right? Because then by then, you done probably moved in or she done moved in. If it's going that route, right? If it's going that route. So hopefully, because once again, according to Jonathan Schwartz, the victims had long-time health care, right? We don't know what that is. But somewhere during Jonathan Schwartz research, he came across that to where he feels comfortable putting it out there. And nobody has said other, right? He did his research. He did his homework. So they spin the narrative so good that I was the bad guy that Mark was able to shack up. And then you look when Mark answers the phone, it's a look of frustrated irritation, right? Like that's not really what he wants. He doesn't want a female, right? He doesn't want a female to control him. There's nothing wrong with the female controlling you, man. Because sometimes there's guys like myself, man, like, that try to run the relationship and past experience is not good, right? So if the female feels like she can control me and keep me out of trouble, why not, man? Why not listen to her? That means she only cares about you. But it bothers you, man, that she calls you and checks up on you because your heart's not in it, right? It's not a boy. It's not a boy. Right now, you need a female to fit your agenda. It's like what the dudes would do in the 90s, man. Get a female pregnant, be down low, right? The definition of down low, right? They get themselves a girl and still be out there, right? That's where that term down low came from, right? But then we're in 2025, man, that everybody's so open, man. Everybody's so open. It's so acceptable, man. You really don't have to be in the closet hiding who you are anymore. You got characters like Just Jay that coming out the print, coming out the closet and playing Princess and Barbie, 30 years old. Nothing wrong with it, right? I don't agree with it. I don't support it. At the same time, I'm not gonna crucify the man for it, right? I'm just not gonna associate myself with it. Uh, and the same thing, man. It's sad, It's sad, you know, because Mark should be nothing wrong with him being shacked up, man. As long as he's shacked up with the right intentions, right? Like he actually told her, "Hey, look, what I did, that is really me. That is really me. I really did that. If you want to accept me who I am, I love you and I want to be with you and I want to be the honest truth and I want to tell you who I really am. Don't start your relationship with lies and deceit, man. Because I can see it on your face when you answer the phone. It weighs on you, man. It's weighing on you. You're bringing her along. You're inserting her in your life, like for what? For she can be your backup and your cover up and be like, look, I'm shacked up, man. I'm not that dude. Mark's gonna be manning the grill. You know what I mean? The one arm band is gonna be grinning. He's gonna be manning the grill. You know what I mean? It's sad, man. It's sad that everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon of Mark. Like if Mark's gonna be the next best thing and he's just gonna skyrocket to stardom and nobody, man. All right, y'all. I'll be back, man. 'Cause I gotta go get something to eat. I should have gone to get something to eat a long time ago, but I'll be back right back.